I will read the translation of the verse concerning Lord Varaha's appearance. It's a song which we sang now. It's taken from Dashavatara Stotra, written by Srila Jayadeva Goswami. O Keshava, O Supreme Lord, who have assumed the form of a boar, O Lord, the planet Earth rested on your tusks, and it appeared like the moon engraved with spots. So today, being the appearance of Lord Varaha, we will discuss one of the pastimes of Varahadev. There are two pastimes described in Srimad Bhagavatam, both in the third canto. One is in the 13th chapter. The other one is in 17, 18 and chapter 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we'll discuss the pastime taken from the later part of the third canto of Bhagavatam. That's from 17, 18 and 19 chapters. This is concerning the killing of the demon Hiranyaksha by Lord Varahadev. So this is from Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 38. Can you repeat after me? Etan Mahapunyam Alam Pavitram. Etan Mahapunyam Alam Pavitram. Dhanyam Yashasyam Padam Ayur Ashisham. Dhanyam Yashasyam Padam Ayur Ashisham. Prana Indriyanam Yudhi Shaurya Vardhanam. Pranendriyanam Yudhi Shaurya Vardhanam. Narayanaha Ante Gatihi Anga Shinvatam. Narayanonte Gatiranga Shinvatam. Etan Mahapunyamalam Pavitram. Dhanyam Yashasyam Padamayurashisham. Pranendriyanam Yudhishaurya Vardhanam. Narayanonte Gatiranga Shinvatam. Etat this narrative, Mahapunyam, conferring great merit, Alam, very, Pavitram, sacred, Dhanyam, conferring wealth, Yashasyam, bearing fame, Padam, the receptacle, Ayuhu, of longevity, Ashisham, of the objects of one's desire, Prana, of the vital organs, Indriyana, of the organs of action, Yudhi, on the field of battle, Shaurya, the strength, Vardhanam, increasing, Narayana, Lord Narayana, Ante, at the end of life, Gatihi, shelter, Anga, O dear Shaunaka, Shinvatam, of those who listen. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhajacharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. This most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord, O dear Shaunaka. So this is called the Shruti Phala verse of hearing Varaha's Leela. The benefit of hearing Lord Varaha's Leela. Can you please repeat after me? This most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord, O dear Shaunaka. Purport. Devotees are generally attracted by the narratives of the pastimes of the Lord, and even though they do not prosecute austerities or meditation, this very process of hearing attentively about the pastimes of the Lord will endow them with innumerable benefits such as wealth, fame, longevity, and other desirable aims of life. If one continues to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narratives of the pastimes of the Lord, at the end of this life, one is sure to be transferred to the eternal transcendental abode of the Lord. Thus, hearers are benefited both ultimately and for as long as they are in the material world. That is the supreme, sublime result of engaging in devotional service. The beginning of devotional service is to spare some time and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended 5 items of devotional service, namely, to serve the devotees of the Lord. Number 1. Number 2, to chant Hare Krishna. Number 3, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Number 4, to worship the deity of the Lord. And number 5, to live in a place of pilgrimage. Just performing these 5 activities can deliver one from the miserable condition of material life. Thus ends the Bhakti purport of the 3rd canto, 19th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Killing of the Demon Hiranyaksha. So this was the last verse in the discussion of Varaha Leela, as explained by Shukadeva Goswami, and in this case by Suta Goswami to Shaunaka Rishi. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshununmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As we have heard about the history of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were the two sons of Diti, who was the wife of Kashyapa Muni, one of the Prajapatis. So Prajapatis are those who are responsible for populating this universe with living entities. Although the original seed is given by the Supreme Lord, Krishna, as Krishna claims in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Bija Pradapita. So all the living entities, they originate from the Supreme Lord. But in this material world, they appear in different ways and means. And the Prajapatis are responsible to bring about the living entities in this world because of their desire to enjoy this material world. So Kashyapa Muni was one of the Prajapatis. And Kashyapa Muni had two wives, Aditi and Diti. And Aditi gave birth to the Devatas. As we know from the story of Vamanadev, the mother of Vamanadev, the mother of Vamanadev is Aditi and the father is Kashyapa Muni. So, all the Devatas, they come from Aditi, one of the wives of Kashyapa Muni. And all the demons, they appear from Diti, the second wife of Kashyapa Muni. So here we see two demons take birth from Diti and Kashyapa Muni. And these two demons are Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Actually, Hiranyakashipu is elder brother, Hiranyaksha is younger brother. Still, Hiranyaksha appeared first from the womb of Diti, and then appeared Hiranyakashipu. So there's a mystery behind this. Because Hiranyakashipu was conceived first by Kashyapa Muni, and then Hiranyaksha was conceived. Therefore, Hiranyakashipu is the elder brother. Although Hiranyaksha appeared first out of the womb of Mother Diti. Because in the positioning, Hiranyaksha was first and behind Hiranyaksha was Hiranyakashipu. Again, there is a reason for that. We will not go into the details now. So even though Hiranyaksha appeared first, still he is the younger brother. And Hiranyakashipu, he appeared second, but he is the elder brother because he was conceived first. On the very birth of these two demons, there were symptoms of natural disturbances in the universe, not just in one area or in one locality or in one street or in one house or in some planet. Natural disturbances all over the universe. And all of them became very fearful by these natural disturbances, including residents of the heavenly planets. So that means there was disturbance in the heavenly planet, earthly planet, and even the lower planetary systems. There was earthquake along the mountains of the earth. it appeared that there was fire everywhere blazing. And many inauspicious planets like Mars and Saturn, they became prominent in the sky. Generally, Mars and Saturn are considered inauspicious planets. Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, these three planets are considered very auspicious. But on the appearance of these two demons, as a natural consequence, Mars and Saturn showed up. Birds of the same feather flock together. So when bad boy is there, all his friends all will be bad, but they'll all gather together, isn't it? Good boys don't go with the bad boys. Similarly, good boy comes, all the good boys flock around him. Bad boys will not go. They don't like to be with good boys. Similarly, good boys don't like to be with bad boys. So like that, these are all friends. Mars, Saturn, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. So he became very jubilant. Oh, my two friends have appeared. So, Acharyas explain, whenever there are such unnatural disturbances occurring anywhere in the creation, either in a planet or in the universe, or in a city, anywhere, one should know that a demonic person has taken birth. Or demonic persons have taken birth. Otherwise, there is no reason for natural disturbances in the creation of the Lord. By the arrangement of the Lord, everything is perfectly situated and created and meant for supporting life and living entities in this world, so that they can enjoy all the benefits of creation and spare their valuable time to execute Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the Lord has made all arrangements for even one's comfortable material living in the form of fruits, flowers, vegetables, juices, valuable, precious stones. Everything is there in nature, freely available, so that one does not have to waste one's human energy for one's livelihood and save all that time for perfecting one's life in Krishna kindness and go back to Godhead. But by the appearance of demonic persons, all these natural benefits and opulences diminish, reduce, or destroyed, or abused, exploited. All of these things happen. So there were many obvious natural disturbances which took place. Some of them is explained by Sutta Goswami here. There were cyclones, snowfall, uprooting of trees by hurricanes. So when these things are all happening, when there is heavy snowfall, hurricanes, all the trees are getting uprooted, left, right, center, one should know that means some demon has taken birth. Insufficient sunshine, because the clouds are covering the sun all the time. So places where there is no sunshine, practically no sunshine, there are some places, even on the earth, where there is practically no sunshine. All through the day, all through the season, all through the year. So these are not places for inhabitation by human beings. And these are also not considered auspicious places. According to the laws of the Lord, and according to the three modes of material nature, there are also categorization of not only people as sattvic, rajasic and tamasic, even plants, trees, lands, places, animals, even they are categorized among these three divisions. So there are sattvic places, rajasic places and tamasic places of residence. So where there is no sunshine, all the time snow is falling, These are all tamasic places. That means sinful places. Not fit for human residence. So anyway, then the ocean was roaring with high waves, creating a lot of commotion for the aquatics in the ocean when these two brothers appeared from Diti. So ocean with its high waves wailed, means screaming, as though they're in a sorrowful state. Then the rivers and lakes were also agitated, and the lotuses, instead of blossoming, they are withering upon birth, upon their appearance. Another interesting symptom is the ass becomes very happy. When the asses become happy, what do? They will run hither and thither very happily, and they start braying. When this is happening, one should know something very inauspicious is around them. Otherwise, as they will not run around happily braying, singing their happy songs. Braying is the ass's way of singing, basically. That is their singing. But that's considered very inauspicious for others. So Prabhupada says, asses also feel very respectable as a race. Even ass feels respectable as a race. And when they run in flocks hither and thither, in so-called jollity, it is understood that this is a bad sign for human society. They are bad omens for human society. The cows, terrified, they yielded blood instead of milk. These are all things which you wouldn't have heard in your life. These are such kind of demonic persons who have put their foot. And that's why these things are happening. Cows, when they're happy, they will yield nice milk. When they're terrified, they will yield blood. And that was happening here. Clouds rained not water but pus. The images of the gods in the temple shed tears. You see, sometimes Prabhupada writes, sometimes there are quite a few letters Prabhupada writes about the deities in some of his temples. Writing this letter to the devotees who are taking care of the deities in the temple, Prabhupada writes, the deities look to be very satisfied. The deities look to be very pleased, smiling. They're very safe in your hands, like that all Prabhupada has written letters. And Prabhupada says, I am relieved that the deities are under your care. Like this all differently Prabhupada has expressed. And here we see the gods in the temple are shedding tears. It's actually a fact. This is not figurative. They're facts. Deity is a person, no? Deity eats, deity smiles, deity can cry. Like you can cry, you can smile, you can eat. These are extreme, terrible situation. Trees are falling down even without a blast of wind. So, except Brahma and the four sons of Brahma, the four Kumaras, none of them had any clue why these things are happening. Has the destruction of the universe come about? Is going to come shortly? They were thinking like that. They had no clue why these things are happening. They are not aware of the fall of Jaya and Vijaya, who have later turned to become these two demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Although originally devotees of the Lord, but to take part in the pastimes of the Lord, to give pleasure to the Lord, to enjoy or relish or share virya rasa with the Lord and to cooperate with the Lord, these two devotees of the Lord have become demons. And to show anger to the Lord and satisfy the Lord of his fighting spirit. And this is the inner confidential reason revealed by the Acharyas, revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam. When the Lord wants to experience fighting rasa, you cannot fight unless you become angry. You cannot fight when you're very happy and very comfortable with somebody and very composed and in harmony. You cannot fight. That feeling of anger doesn't arise. Or even if you superficially scold or shout, there is no feeling and emotion attached to it. So it will not be effective. Just sometimes, we shout at somebody, hey, what is this you are doing? He doesn't take it seriously because he knows, Prabhu. Because he knows Prabhu, no? So they don't take it seriously, isn't it? So there's no effect like that, isn't it? So you really have to become an enemy, an opponent, filled with vengeance, hatred, anger. Then only that fighting will be 100%. Otherwise, it will not be interesting. Easily we'll make out, Prabhu, you can't shout properly also, Prabhu. Why you should shout all these little bits, isn't it? So, unless there is vengeance, hatred, so Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu have garnered such kind of hatred that in the history you could not hear any such example of that kind of hatred which they have built up against the Lord, and anger also towards the Lord. So anyway, so Hiranyaksha, he was ready to satisfy his elder brother by his activities. Therefore, taking a club in his hand, on his shoulder, placing the club on his shoulder, he traveled all over the universe with a fighting spirit just to satisfy Hiranyakashipu. So this is the beginning of the pastime. Earlier was just introduction. So, this Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they possessed great bodily strength and mental strength, or rather unlimited mental and bodily strength. And because of which they have become extremely proud. And because they received a boon that they will not be killed by any living entity in this universe, they became puffed up with their boon and their acquired mental and bodily strength. They started roaming all around the universe unnecessarily to show their false pride, to show off. So they went to Indraloka to find Indra to fight with him. Why? Just simply, just like it's called bullying. This is exactly what is called as bullying. There's no reason to fight. Even there's reason to fight or to get into a disagreement, makes sense. But this is not this show of strength. Just show of strength. So, but knowing that Hiranyaksha is coming, Indra and the other devatas, they disappeared from heaven because they know this man is too tough to handle. They disappeared. So before he appeared. So then he went and saw Indraloka. Oh, the seat is empty. Where is Indra? Where is Indra? Nobody knows. He went to a secret spot. So okay. So he left Indraloka and he straight came into the ocean and dived deep into the ocean with great force. Again, as a sport. See, you can swim as a sport, but this person being demoniac, even for simple sports also, he would do it in a terrifying way. Although sports is meant to relieve one, and bring about jolliness, demonic person such that even in sports, which are generally meant to make one light-hearted, still he will make it terrifying. So he dived into the waters with such great force, so much so that all the aquatics started, experiencing fear, lot of fear. And he tossed the waves in the ocean again and again with his iron mace, and finally reached Vibhavari, the place where Varuna is residing. Varunadeva is the head of all the aquatics and also the head of the lower regions of the universe. He is a presiding deity and also the head of the lower regions of the universe. That means Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala. So he is the head of all these regions also. So he straight went to Vibhavari, Hiranyaksha. And he met Varuna, the lord of the aquatic creatures, the guardian of the lower regions of the universe, where demons generally reside. Devatas in the upper planetary systems, above Bhur and Bhor Loka are the Devatas. And the demons are in the lower regions, where Varunadeva is the head. So there, Hiranyaksha, he fell at Varuna's feet, not offering obeisances, to beg duel with him. Means fighting. Oh my lord Varuna, I beg you, please give me a good fight. Please give me a good fight. My hands are itching. Long time I have not really crushed somebody and beaten somebody. So, I beg you, give me battle, O Supreme Lord. He said with a smile. These are the actual words in the Bhagavatam. Thus mocked by the enemy, Varuna said, actually Varuna was very old. Varuna is very old. So he said, oh dear one, we have now desisted from warfare. We have retired from fighting. Basically he is retired. So we have desisted from warfare, having grown too old for combat, fighting. Too old to fight, Buddhas. So what you will fight with me? You are energetic, full of mental and physical strength. I am not a good match for you. So Prabhupada says in the purport there, similarly, there are such demonic persons in the world where they also always desire fighting, war. You can see countries and countries, unnecessarily they acquire arms, ammunitions, and try to create fear in others. In that way they take pleasure. Have you ever wondered why they try to acquire arms, ammunitions, and manufacture more and more, purchase more and more missiles, weapons? It gives great pleasure. They take great pleasure within their hearts. This is described in the Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita also. That means such persons are demoniac. And being secured by so much of power and seeing the fear in others, they take a lot of pleasure. That's why they constantly try to declare war against other countries. Oh, why should we declare war upon other countries unnecessarily? Without a cause of protecting dharma or without the reason for establishing God consciousness. Why should you bring another country under your control? There's no reason. Dharma Yuddha means to ensure that in that country, in that state, in that city, in that society, people are God conscious, peaceful, and practicing God conscious life. If it is not happening, then you try to bring that place under your control. Otherwise, there's no reason for war. But here, these people simply declare war and create fear. They are demonic persons. So, so then Varuna says that you are so skilled in war that I do not see anyone else but only the Supreme Lord who is a fit combatant for you. He is the only fit person for you. So please go to him, meet him. He'll give you a good fight. Upon reaching the Supreme Lord, you will be rid of your pride and will lie down in the field of battle surrounded by dogs for eternal sleep. Actually, like this, he chastises him very badly. So Prabhupada says, Asuras do not know that their bodies consist of 5 elements of material nature, and that when they fall or they die, they become objects of pastimes for dogs and vultures. Anyway, so the demon, so then he goes in search of Vishnu and finally reaches Lord Vishnu. Lord Varahadev, he meets face to face, eye to eye. And when he saw Lord Varahadev, he was shocked. Oh! The demon, Hiranyaksha, laughed. An amphibious beast. He was shocked. How could this be God? So, anyway, at that time, Lord Varaha was engaged in lifting the earth, submerged earth from the depths of the Garbhodaka ocean. When Hiranyaksha challenged him. Anyway, the Lord placed the earth on the surface of the, placed the earth on the surface of the Garbhodaka waters, and in order that the earth float on the surface of the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, the Lord transferred his personal energy so that it will float and not sink down because of its weight. So Prabhupada says this is the actual cause of the earth floating on the waters and not law of gravitation. You may give different terminologies, but actually it is the Lord's personal energy infused into the earth planet so that it can float by the Lord's dictation. Because the material energy is under the control of the Lord. The Lord says you must sing, it will sing. The Lord says you must float, it will float. Just like an electronic instrument. The electronic engineer very expertly will manufacture. And as the electronic engineer designs, it's called a design engineer. We have in masters, we do that. VLSE subject we have. As electronic engineer designs the chip will work accordingly. The motherboard will work accordingly. It is in the hands of the electronic engineer. Similarly, electrical engineer. Electricity is in the hands of the electrical engineer. He can manipulate however he wants to give cooling effect or heating effect. Electricity is same. Similarly, material laws are under the direct control of the Supreme Lord. Material energy is controlled and directed by the Supreme Lord. So as per the Lord's wish, material energy has to work. So it can float, it can sink. Anything is possible for the Lord. So the Lord infused his energy and then made it float on the surface of the water. So at that time when Hiranyaksha saw the Lord, he was shocked that he is a beast, apparently. The demon, to make fun of the Lord, actually he addressed the Lord with very piercing words. He said, "Oh, best of the demigods," addressing the Lord, "dressed in the form of a boar, just hear me. The earth is entrusted to the inhabitants of the lower regions. So, you cannot take it in my presence and not be hurt by me. How can you take it in my presence? This lower planetary system belongs to me, not Varuna. belongs to me. The demons possess the lower planetary systems. So how can you take it without being hurt by me? So there are some words which he has used in Sanskrit. Prabhupada explains the purport. Srila Sridhara Swami, the original commentator of the Srimad Bhagavatam, after Vyasadeva. So he has given a very nice explanation in this regard. Although demons' words were abusive and offensive, but actually, without his knowledge, without his intent, it all became glorification of Lord Varahadev. So how is it so? For example, he used the word in addressing Varahadev as, oh, Vana Gochara. He is a resident of the forest. That means an animal. But in Sanskrit, there are different meanings. But Sridhara Swami says, no. He has actually said Vana Gochara, addressing the Lord. He actually meant one who lies on the water. That means Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So he recognized Vishnu from Varahadev. The one who is lying on the waters of the ocean. That means it is Vishnu who is lying on the waters. So it became like that. Then he addressed the Lord as Agya. Agya means ignorant fool. Animal or a beast is obviously Agya, an Agya creature, a creature of ignorance. Tamoguna. Yeah. From Tamoguna only come living entities of the animal kingdom, aquatic kingdom. So therefore he addressed the Lord as Agya because he assumed the form of a boar. But it has got another meaning. Gya means knowledge. Agya means there is no knowledge which is outside of the scope of Lord Varahadev. So he actually glorified Varahadev saying, my Lord, Vedas, you are the embodiment of Vedas. This is described in the 13th chapter of the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. You can read that. 13th chapter. Very nicely described of Varahadev. His entire body is the embodiment of Veda. Anyway. Then he used the word Suradhama, means lowest of the demigods. Sura Adhama, lowest among the devatas. But it can also mean Sura means devatas. Adhama means the Lord of all there is. That means he has actually addressed the Lord as the Lord of all the devatas. That's what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the Lord of all the devatas and all the planets. So he used the word Suradhama to mean actually, O Lord of all the demigods. Therefore you are the best of the demigods. He actually said you are the best of the demigods. And then finally he has used the word Na swasti yasyasi. Swasti means auspiciousness, to bring about good. Na means not. So na swasti yasyasi means there cannot be any well-being or any good or any auspicity from this act, is what he meant. How can you take away from me? Without being hurt by me. But actually, unintentionally he said, my Lord, unless you take this earth from my custody, there's no good fortune for the demons like me. So like that it became. Anyway, so like this, the demon actually glorified the Lord, not actually abused the Lord. This is what is Sridhara Swami's explanation. So, the Lord placed the earth on the surface of the waters and got ready for the fight with Hiranyaksha. He tolerated all these words from Hiranyaksha because he was busy in protecting the Devatas and saving Mother Earth. When one is, the Prabhupada says, because he was busy with these two tasks, he didn't take the words of Hiranyaksha very seriously. Point 1. Point 2. The Acharyas have explained Just like if an elephant is struck with a wreath of flowers, is there any pain for the elephant? It's very nice. Suppose you hit with flowers, it's so nice, right? That too for an elephant. Similarly, these piercing words of Hiranyaksha was like being struck by a wreath of flowers. It was as soothing like that. Varaha, because he is free from duality of chastisement and praise. So he is not disturbed. Anyway, the Lord said a very interesting reply. Although he is speaking in such a piercing way, you see how the Lord replied, very nice. We are creatures of the jungle. Yes, we do admit, O Hiranyaksha. And therefore, because as you said, I am a beast. So because we are creatures of the jungle, we are searching after hunting dogs like you. So, one who is freed from the entanglement of death has no fear from loose talks, in which you are now indulging. Don't indulge in loose talks. Get into action, you dog, you bitch. You are bound up by the laws of death. And a very interesting phrase Varahadev quoted. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word. So simply don't talk big things. Do something practically. Come, fight with me. So the demon, being challenged by the Supreme Lord, became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. If you stamp upon a cobra, finished. As it is, cobra is venomous and is garnering hatred, poison, hatred, as it is. And then you put your foot on the cobra by intention or by accident. Intention nobody does, even by accident, finished. The cobra becomes extremely angry. He'll obviously attack. So, but for the Lord, it was a plaything. Hiranyaksha is a play doll for the Lord, as much as for a village boy the cobra is. In village, they play with cobra. Just like you play with dolls here in the city or with computers. What is that? PlayStation it is called. So like that they play with cobras in villages. And they will take a cobra by the tail, hang like this, play like this. After sufficiently having enjoyed the play with the cobra, and all the boys will be circling them and throw it and kill it. These are village boys. They deal with the snakes. For them, it's not a cause of fear. So like that for the Lord, the example is given. This Hiranyaksha was a play thing. Anyway, so after arriving at the place of combat, the fight began, and Brahma personally came from Brahmalok in his swan carrier to see this fight. And Brahma addressed Narayana, who is the origin of the avatars in this material world. So Narayana, who has assumed the form of a boar for the first time. So Brahma addressed, "My Lord, this demon has proved a constant pinprick to the Brahmanas and the devotees, devatas, cows, innocent persons. So please do not spare him. Kill him at the earliest. He is wandering all over the universe for an infamous purpose of showing off his might and strength that is unconquerable in all the three worlds." So, that was the petition of Lord Brahma out of fear. So then, anyway, Lord heard his petition and smiled. So now the fight begins. So Hiranyaksha, he struck the Lord with his mace. And the Lord's mace slipped away from his hand. At that time, Hiranyaksha had an opportunity to fight with the Lord and show all his might, because Lord has become weaponless now. But following the rules of warfare, being apparently a moralist, he didn't want to fight. He respected the law of single combat, thereby further kindling the fury of the Supreme Lord. Oh, you don't have weapon, huh? It's okay, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you like that. It will actually incite fury in the other opponent. So as the Lord's mace fell to the ground, a cry of alarm arose among the Devatas. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Many rishis and Devatas assembled in the outer space to see this entire episode, the battle between Hiranyaksha and Lord Varahadev. And they became disturbed, filled with anxiety. Oh my God, Lord's mace fell down. What's going to happen? Then the Lord invoked his Sudarshana Chakra, and actually the Devatas, they have no idea about the Lord's power. And therefore they cried to the Lord, "My Lord, may victory attend you. Pray, dispatch him. Play no more with him." They were filled with anxiety more than the Lord. So then, anyway, as the discus began to revolve in the Lord's hands, the Lord contended at close quarters with the chief of his Vaikuntha attendants, who had been born as Hiranyaksha. There issued from every direction strange expressions which uttered, "Please do not play with him." That means the Devatas, they were very concerned. So the demon stared at the Supreme Lord as though to burn him. Springing into the air, he aimed his mace at the Lord, exclaiming at the same time, "You are slain." And then he marched towards the Lord forcefully. So while his enemy looked on, the Lord in his boar form playfully knocked down the mace with his left foot. When you use your left hand, left foot, that means it's a sign of insignificance. You are indicating the other person you are insignificant. Then only you use your left foot and left hand. You don't care for the other person. Otherwise you use right hand generally. See, these are very fine points. So, the Lord knocked down the mace with his left foot, even as it came upon him with the force of a tempest. Then the Lord said, take up your weapon, no problem. Try your luck once again. So the demon once again took up his mace, which had fallen down, picked up his mace, and then again charged the Lord. And when the Lord saw the mace flying toward him, he stood firmly and caught it with ease. So being humiliated, the demon, he was reluctant to take back the mace when it was offered by the Lord. Lord said, "Okay, just like you catch that discus throw we have." The Lord caught the mace like that. He said, "Come, take, it's okay, you can fight once again." The demon got humiliated so much, "No, I'm not going to take from you." So he was reluctant to take the mace when it was offered by the Lord. Then the demon next took his trishul, trident, and he tried to attack the Lord with his trident. And the Lord tore his trident to pieces by his Sudarshana Chakra in no time. Then the demon, he attacked the Lord with his fist, beating his chest, and disappeared from the scene. So then he tried to show a lot of mystical things by using his mystic power. Suddenly, the luminaries in the outer space disappeared. The sky became overcast with clouds. Sky rained pus, hair, blood, all these things. Stones started dropping like volleys from outer space. Say the machine gun, you shoot, continuously bullets will be fired. Like that, volleys of stones were thrown from the outer space for no reason, with no source to be detected, to be found. These are all the tricks which Hiranyaksha indulged in. But he does not know Lord is Yogeshwara, the master of all mystical things. So, anyway, then the Lord, he took his Sudarshan Chakra and dispelled all these magical feats, which is simply causing delusion for others, but not for the Supreme Lord. Then, when his magical strength and feats were put to rest, he appeared once again in front of the Lord and again started attacking the chest of the Lord by his fist. And the Lord just gave a slap, a simple slap at the root of his ear. That's all. His eyes bulged out of his eyeballs bulged out of the sockets. His limbs and bones broke off. His hairs got scattered. And he lay dead immediately. So, but even though he died just by the slap of the Lord, in other words, Prabhupada explains, if the Lord wills, even the most powerful demons can be killed just simply by one slap. That's all it needs for the Lord. Not even with great exertion. Just like that he slapped. That's all. So this is the power of the Almighty Lord. The demons, they cannot realize the power of the Lord. So even though the demon died, there was luster in his body. And that was a surprise. Why there was luster in the body? That is explained. Because he was personally killed by the Lord. Therefore there was luster in his body, although he died. The body didn't fade away. When you die, the body will fade away. But in this case, it didn't happen because of the touch from the transcendental hands of the Lord. So in this way, Suta Muni concludes this Varaha Leela by saying, one who hears this sacred narration of Lord Varahadev killing the demon Hiranyaksha, he will be blessed with extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, long lifespan, and whatever one desires, even materially. And on the battlefield, it enhances one's strength, one's organs become very strong, and organs of action, vital organs, they all will become very, very energized. So one who listens to this at the last moment of his life is sure to be transferred to the abode of the Supreme Lord. Shri Varahadev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.